Russo Italiano sponsors Boxing Bros UK.
It's showtime!
Hello, everybody. This is Boxing Bros UK. I am here's the boss, Chris. This is my co-host, Andrew, the Boxing Brain. And today's topic is Jared Anderson. We want to know what is with this guy. We'll talk a little bit about his career. We want to know, is his heart in boxing or not? Because it seems like it's not. So I'm going to play a video. We're going to start with this video. This is just after the Charles Martin fight, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just...
Do you think, he's called the Real Big Baby, Chris? Do you think he should be named the Real Big Bum? Like what?
Yeah. Oh, he should be called the Real Big Baby because he cries like a baby all the time.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Completely make me happy. Well, I'm gonna say it like this: the higher power gave you more. When there's more given, more is expected. So guess what? Jared has an obligation to the higher power, to all of those back in Toledo where he came from, to his mother, to succeed. That's just the obligation that comes with it. You let a lot of people down if you quit right now. People that love you for real. Some people that'll give their life for you. Because your mama give her life right now for her son. You understand that?
But it's the pressure, though.
I understand the pressure, but God built us different. Did you just tell me that?
I'm 23.
So sometimes there's a lot put on us. But it's put on us because we're the ones that can take it. Jared may not think he can sometime. Jared may get messed up sometime, but Jared can wear these shoes. That's why Jared has it. You understand me?
But Jared ain't asked for it.
Too bad. Jared has a destiny that Jared can't run from.
The third person.
And Jared ain't no coward. I already know that. Right? So Jared may as well make up his mind and let's go. You gotta ride that horse, son. I'm sorry. You gotta ride that horse. I rode it. You ain't gotta ride it till the wheels come off, but you gotta ride it. You understand me? You gotta ride it till you get where you wanna be in life, then you can get off of it. But we're gonna ride that horse. That's just what we gotta do, all right? My man. My man.
Well, I'll start because Chris is just otherwise occupied here.
Plugging my charger in.
The thing is, right, and your Roy Jones Jr. is giving the best pep talk ever, though, right? Roy Jones Jr., if anyone don't know, and I'm sure all the people watching here, absolute legend, multiple weight world champion, all the way up to heavyweight. Him and kind of James Toney and Pacquiao and all those guys. He's in that kind of echelon. Terence Crawford now, giving him the best pep talk ever, right? Actually, quite an uplifting little speech. If you're not going to get inspired by someone like Roy Jones Jr., I don't know what. And then he starts talking in the third person. Jared ain't got it. Jared ain't it. What's he talking in the third person? He's not owning it. Because this is the thing. When you own it, you go, in psychotherapy, we call it, you say, I do this, I do that. So you're owning your, Jared don't do this, Jared don't. What's all that about? Like, I'm 23. You're 23, you're a grown man.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'm being a bit harsh here. Like, and there was just as a last bit before you come in back here, Chris, for your thoughts. Roy Jones Jr. is saying that, I had to ride that horse, the pressure was on me, all the rest of it. Yeah, but Jared Anderson, talent-wise, hasn't shown anywhere near what Roy Jones Jr. is. So it's like, it's such a sort of bizarre reaction from Jared, isn't it? Rather than him being lifted and like, yeah, let's go. The rest of it, he's like, oh, the pressure. I'm 23. I can't handle it. I just thought, it's just weird, Chris. Weird.
Yeah, it's like the pressure. You're 23. You've just had a life and death fight with Charles Martin. He's dealt with easily. Yeah. What pressure? Yeah, you can't cope with that pressure. How are you going to be a world champion? How are you going to do anything? And it's like, you're 23, so you should think, I'm young, I can come again, I can come better. But he's not thinking that. He's just thinking the pressure. What pressure? I thought you want to be a professional fighter. Like, it's just really, really... And that was his mentality back then.
A few years ago. Didn't he say he wanted to retire at 27, Chris? In an interview? I mean, what?
He doesn't care about belts, he just wants to make as much money as possible. He doesn't want to be... With that mentality, if you don't want to be the best and fight the best, that's where he's going wrong. Because he's trying to make as much money as possible.
Why don't they put Jared Anderson and Tank Davis after his recent performance? Why don't they put them on a DAZN Misfit show? Like, should we just call it now? Like it's almost like Tank's got that. He's holding that WBA lightweight title for dear life. You've done nothing to earn it.
He's holding it hostage.
Holding it hostage. Jared Anderson, right? His promoters and his management, or maybe even Roy Jones. He's trained by Sugar Hill, isn't he? And Jared Anderson. Right, they chucked him in the deep waters against a fit Martin Bakole. Right, forget the recent performance. Bacole's a top heavyweight. He weren't ready for that. I mean, he was coming off of, like you say, the Charles Martin win. I think before. No, he fought Merry, didn't he? Merry Rudenko.
Yeah.
Went life and death with Merry, who's a pumped up cruiserweight, by the way. Couldn't get him out of there. Jerry Forrest, he knocked out in round 2 a few years ago. You know, he had 17 fights before that, then got in there against Bakole, and it was man against boy in there. It was just, he's nowhere near ready.
No. But the thing with that Bakole fight is, so Bob Arum said about this.
Oh.
He's his promoter, he's his manager, and he told him not to take the fight.
Right.
He told him. He didn't want him to take the fight. He weren't ready. And Turkey Al-Sheikh rang Anderson direct and said, look, this is an extra fight, nothing to do with Top Rank. We're fronting all the money, so it's up to you if you want to take it or not. And he said, this is the money that's offered. Obviously, it was silly money. So he said, yeah, fuck it, I'll take it. Yeah, why not?
I wonder what he earned. I wish I'd got that, done a bit of research on this now. What do you reckon he earned? Do you reckon he earned about $750,000? Something like that?
Yeah,
maybe $1 million?
Even that, or even more. Maybe $1 million, maybe 2.
1.5.
But
when you're 24, mate, that's life-changing money. So I get it.
Money. And Bob Arum said, this is the problem with Saudi, because they can't grow their fighters, you know. But they can do. Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn are doing it. But it's just Anderson is not a prospect anymore. He's supposed to be fighting people like Bakole and winning and doing better. He weren't ready for that fight because of how they've been matchmaking him, which has been terrible. And I don't think it's just because of the matchmaking. I think it's his attitude. I don't think that he's going to do anything in boxing. I think he's got the total wrong mentality.
Yeah, I know you've got another video coming up in a minute.
So
but I just wanted to
comeback fight after losing to Martin Bakole. So this is all you need to know about Jared Anderson and his mentality and his attitude to boxing, right? And how this is how not to be a world champion. And what not to do. Right, I'm going to get his corner.
Marius Collier, the Greek plumber.
Yeah. He's fighting an absolute pudding. He's there to be hit. And he just...
A pudding.
He's just... And he's just crying all the way through.
Greek moussaka. I don't know if you've ever been to Greece, Chris. Have you ever had their... Is it the moussaka? They like a moussaka.
Yeah, that dip thing.
Oh, mate. What is his name? Yeah, Marius Collier, the Greek moussaka.
Right, this is his last fight, his comeback fight, where he nearly got knocked out in the last round. Listen to the corner work, listen to what he's saying. There's 3 rounds of corner.
Yeah, man, relax, and don't force it. Listen, you got to straighten your punches out, right? You looping them, that bring you closer to them. That nigga can't get in. Just keep them on the outside of your punches. Keep that thing off. Pop, 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 pop. And when you smother, don't lean forward. When you smother, right. What'd you say?
He's tough. I know he gonna be here the whole 10. I don't want to go 10.
For sure. Body though. You don't want to go the whole 10. You gotta go. It's cool. You gotta create. Look, hooks upstairs. Turn right-handed. Hooks upstairs. Left hook to the body. You gotta touch the body and break him down the right way. Cause he tough. So you gotta. He don't want that. All right. He like the ass, but you gotta straighten your punches out. Straighten your punches out.
So I'm just gonna pause it there. Right. Have you ever heard this from a fighter? Right. I've never heard this. It was like watching a 3-year-old child. He's tough. He's tough. He's going to be here for the whole 10. All right, you're going to have to change your punch variation. But I don't want to go 10 rounds. I don't want to go 10 rounds. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what.
You're having a tantrum. You're a fighter.
Honestly,
it's a 10-round fight. So if you have to go 10 rounds, you have to go 10 rounds, whether you want to or fucking not. Like, I just can't believe it.
What was who was that? Where was Sugar? Was Sugar Hill? What was going on with Sugar Hill? Is he gone now? Is he still with him? Who was this young kiddie in there giving him a
standing coach? Because
he could make it.
It's like I think it's Sugar Hill's assistant coach or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, he looked about fucking 18, didn't he? That coach, like.
No, but he was giving him good advice. But he was giving him good advice. He's saying
straighten the shots out.
Yeah. Quicker, more accurate. Stop trying to go for the big hooks. You know?
Yeah.
Vary the punches, head body. He's giving him good advice, and he's going, but I don't want to do 10 rounds.
I just want to stand this, Chris, before you replay it, right? I think this is the problem, and you alluded to this earlier about matchmaking, right? The problem is, and what Bob Arum was saying there was right, and although as fans we want all the big fights, there are going to be occasions where the fighter isn't ready because of the allure of the money, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But the problem we've got, the downside to that, someone like Andy, this is where I do have some sympathy, not a lot, but some sympathy. That fight against Bakole can ruin a fighter. He may never, depending on his mindset, he may never come back. And based on what we know of Hansen, the interviews, the corner work, he's got a negative frame of mind. He might never be the same because what we saw against this Marius Colliers, who was 12-4, 10 KOs, can punch a bit, got knocked out in a 4-rounder years ago. Like he's no, like you said, I don't want to be disrespectful, but the guy's a pudding, mate. He's a fucking blancmange. And Anderson, all right, he won a UD because he won a lot of the rounds, but he was going life and death towards the end there. Defense really open, sloppy, not listening to his corner work. And this might be because of the result of bad matchmaking. After the Bakole fight, whatever was left of him mentally might be gone there, Chris. They might not be able to build him now because he's just gone.
And he's just gonna perform like that or fight someone good again and lose again.
He will
fight like that against a journeyman, have a step up and lose.
Who in the top 10, Chris, right? Who in the tell me now before we resume, who in the top 10 currently would Anderson beat?
I think Chisora will beat him. No, I think Chisora will beat him.
I think Hooney would beat him. I think Ajagba beats him, right? At top 10, top 15. I can't think of anyone.
That'd be a good fight, him and Ajagba, though. That'd be a good fight, actually, him and Ajagba.
F.A. Ajagba if he loses to Bakole, yeah. But there's no one currently in that top 10. Bearing in mind he was meant to be the next big American heavyweight outside of Richard Torres Jr. Who does he beat? Cabiel? No chance. Gilles Zhang? He might beat Gilles Zhang on points, Chris, maybe.
Yeah, but that could be a good fight for him as well. I think you've always got that doubt where I'd probably bet on Zhang knocking him out. But let's get back to it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Would completely make me happy.
Well,
not that one.
You at the end of your punches, all right? Good shit.
Then Jared Anderson got taken.
That's a good round. You got to keep your shots straight and then come around, right? The straight. Go put him in a high guard. Then you got to come around. Bang, bang, round. under, but you're abandoning the body a little bit. We gotta stay down there.
OT Tucker, I hate hitting elbows.
Aim for the, gotta change the trajectory and aim for the center. All right, go ahead, Ramon. And we can't pull. We got a half step back, and if we come back, we got to have our hands up though. Okay, can't get coming on unnecessary shots. We're good. Just got to keep the body a priority. Look, double jab them hard right here.
Right.
Double jab, hard to the body. Yeah, good advice.
Right.
Good advice from the corner there, Chris. Actually, listening in there, like decent advice.
Good advice from his corner. Yeah. Obviously, you've seen the fight. You know that he wasn't doing that. But imagine your cornerman goes, "You're neglecting that body," and he goes, "But I hate hitting elbows." It's like talking to a fucking child.
Yeah, I caught that bit. I hate hitting elbows. Like, well,
you know I hate hitting elbows. I thought he was a fighter. Like, first of all, he's like, I don't want to go 10 rounds. But the guy's tough. And he's a tough guy, and I don't want to go 10 rounds. Like,
he ain't that tough. He's lost 4 times, been stopped for fair few times. Like, he ain't that tough. Fucking hell.
He's there, so he's saying the guy's tough, and he's going to have to fight 10 rounds, and he doesn't want to. Then he's like, right, you need to go to the body. And he's like, yeah, but I hate it. It's like he's got some problem with any advice that his coach is telling him to win the fight. You're supposed to listen to your coaches and execute what they say because they can see things that you can't. And everything that his coach is telling him, which is good advice, he's arguing, and his arguments are pathetic. But I don't want to do 10 rounds, or I don't like hitting elbows. Well, change it up, change the angles, and you won't hit elbows every time. But it is a boxing match. You are having a fight with someone, so you're probably going to hit elbows and heads. And, and shoulder bomb.
So the question is, Chris,
and hurt someone, and you hurt your hand a bit. It's going to happen.
Exactly.
Right, for fuck's sake.
The question is then, right? This is what the question I want to pose to you. You know, I like to get into the mindset of fighters quite a lot. There's 2 reasons as to why he's responding like that: ego or negative mindset. It's one or the other, or maybe even both. His ego, either his ego won't allow him to receive the advice because he thinks he's this fucking, even after the Cody defeat.
Hold on, I'm just going to have to pause it a sec. Someone's at the door, 1 sec.
Yeah, so that basically what I was saying is that there's 2 reasons as to why he's responding that way in the corner and why he's responding. It's either his ego, because he's been built, he's been hyped up, the next big American dream, Jared Anderson, the next American dream, and the heavyweight division, best heavyweight since Mike Tyson, right? And he believes the hype and his ego's all pumped up and he can't accept it. Or he's just got a really negative frame of mind. Maybe he suffers a bit of depression. I don't know. Because what other reason could there be, Chris, for him acting the way he's acting now?
Because, like, either you want to box or you don't. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, and it's like he's boxing, he's taking the fights, he's taking the money, and then he's just like, there's no passion to win, to look good, to progress. He's not calling out any names. He's not saying what he wants to do. It's just like...
What do you think it is then, Chris? Do you think it's his ego? Do you think he's got a really negative mindset, or a bit of both? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's his ego, but I think he's just better than what he thinks he is. And
or not? Yeah.
These fights, like against Charles Martin, against that Greek guy.
Yeah.
Not doing great because he's not focused. He's not thinking. All he's thinking is he wants to earn as much money as possible. He's not thinking, I want to be a world champion. He's not thinking, I want to fight the best. He's just thinking, I want to earn as much money. And no one wants to watch you fight unless you're knocking people out in style, and he's not doing that either. So,
especially at heavyweight.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, you're a heavyweight, still relatively early in your career, right? These guys like Merry, Rudenko, you know, this German Musaka Plummer, right? He should be making short work of these guys. He should be stopped. Right? Hey, people going about slag off AJ, right? I think AJ gets way too much stick. Right? If the AJ would have dispatched of these guys like they were fucking the local postman, like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, come on, like he needs to do far better. He's still only young, right? For a heavyweight, he's very, very young, but mentally,
in the fight, he looked dejected. He looked like he can't be arsed. And he was, every time his corner was telling him advice, he was arguing with them. When you just shut up and you listen to your corner, you go out and execute what they say to win the fight.
Yeah.
Like, it's, you know what it reminds me of? Remember when we seen Sonny Edwards and he was like, I don't want to do this no more.
Oh, that was a shame.
It reminds me of, he's got that attitude because he's so young and he's got he's got a certain lifestyle. He has to fight to bring the money in still, and he doesn't want to. That's how I feel like we're at with him.
You've made a good point there, Chris, because I haven't looked deep into his personal background. I know Roy Jones Jr. was talking about his mum. I wonder whether there's a strong male father figure in his life, because you see this a lot. You know, a lot of single parent households and mums do an incredible job. But I feel a problem sometimes with modern society is there's not enough strong male role models for these guys, and I don't, maybe he lacks a bit of a male role model. But then you've got Sugar Hill and Roy Jones Jr., you know, trying to lift you up, and he still don't want to know.
Yeah. Let's get to the end of it, and then we'll give our thoughts on what's next for him.
Retire.
Yeah.
To the body, all right?
And he has this far. It's been easy for him.
You got to land that jab, right hand down low, hook to the head. They keep it long, man. You're doing good, but sometimes you're having a lot of dead moments. You got to at least stay consistent with the jab. You hear me? You hear me? Go ahead, Ramon.
Every power shot you throw, throw it from your jab. And when you get circling that way, you're circling into your right hook.
Now, Jared Anderson, we mentioned the loss to Martin Bakole by knockout, but before that, he was on a run against Riyad Murray, the former world champion, Andre Rudenko, Charles Martin, who gave him a great test, and then George Arias, who was able to stop. That was one of his most impressive victories, I think, in that run. Yeah. I mean, look, just put it this way. He don't want to be here, man.
Look,
Jared don't want to be here. Let's listen.
You're doing good. Don't force it. But you attacking from straight ahead. Where your angles at? You've been using angles all camp, huh? I got you, but hey, you got to push through that shit. We here now, nigga. All right? Angles. You got it, man. You got that shit, bro. You a dog. You hear me? You a dog. But you
looking around.
I feel you, but it's hands up. Just angle. You don't got to get hit because you're using the angle. Bang, 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 hands up. Turn the angle. Body shot. You got it. And you, bro, he's slow as shit. You ain't even going to be able to keep up with the angle. You got to punch from different trajectories. You're going straight ahead. That's why he's trying to bait you and wait for something big. Go ahead, Ramon. Everything off of your jab.
Right. So.
Strange.
It's there again. Good advice. He wasn't listening to the advice from the previous round. He's getting good advice. And even the commentators were going, Timothy Bradley was saying, Jared don't want to be here. He doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
And that's round 3. And someone's paid you money to fight that guy, and people have paid money to come and watch you fight. So you're not winning any fans. Do you know why people loved AJ when he was fighting? Because he was knocking everyone out, and he was like, for you, like loving it up for the fans.
Looking at $1 million.
Yeah. When you're going to there and you're fighting people like that, you're supposed to be doing it in style, and you're supposed to be learning, practicing things. Like what you and your coach, what you've been learning in training camp, and then your coach is telling you to do it in the fight.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to argue with him and say, nah, I don't want to try that. I don't want to do that. Oh, and then just do your own thing. And then he keeps telling you, I don't want to hurt my knuckles. I don't like hitting that.
Oh, mate, I know. Deontay Wilder have done with a guy like this Collius, mate. Like, what would have, Deontay Wilder would have folded him up like a deck chair, wouldn't he? 10 years ago. Like, the way I was looking at his body language in the corner, Chris, right? Not looking at his trainer in the eye. You know, like you're trying to sit someone down, you're like, and you're trying to have a frank conversation with them. And they're just like looking around. They don't want to know, like can't look at you in the eye. It's just all like you said earlier, it's like a secondary school kid, like, oh, whatever, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
he's a grown man.
it's not a good look, especially when you've just been knocked out really badly in front of everybody, but like against Martin McCauley. You're supposed to be showing people that you're back. You're supposed to be showing people that you're capable. You're still in the mix. But you need to show everyone that they can't be arsed. I doubt if he's going to get another payday at Riyadh season now. Because
I'm beginning to wonder, Chris, whether he's got some kind of depression or something. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there because he looks, like you said, you used the word dejected. He looks dejected all the time. He looks like there's something more to this. He don't seem right mentally to me. And you know as well as I do, getting in that boxing ring's a dangerous place. If you're getting in there and you ain't switched on, you could end up, well, let's be real, you could end up dead. Yeah. So I'm a bit concerned. Are we going to bring it on to where do we think his career goes from here? I don't know where to start. So I don't really know, if I'm honest.
You can fight another guy like that, but he's not using them fights to work on things that he's been learning, to knock him out in style and look good. He's not using these easy fights for what they're for. He's like a little stroppy teenager. Like he can't be asked. It's like he's getting made to go to school when he's supposed to be enjoying fighting. And if he's not enjoying it and he can't do it, and he hasn't got the motivation to do it, then he shouldn't do it because he's going to get himself hurt.
It's a good point. I think if you compare him, and perhaps this is a bit unfair, but all right, who's the #1 British talent heavyweight on our shores? Moses Atoma. Yeah. Moses Atoma is 5 or 6 years younger, right? And what's his attitude? What's the general attitude? Stoic, gives quite simple answers. I'm here to fight. I'm here to do a job. Strongman comes across well. Stepped up against people like Wack and Dempsey McKean, which the sort of level Anderson's was fighting at before he fought Bacoli. And Atauma's smashing them to bits, getting rid of them inside a few rounds. Anderson ain't doing that, and he's meant to be the equivalent over there the pond. To Atoma, he's meant to be their big. He couldn't lace Moses Atoma's boots, mate. No. Let's be real.
That'll be a good fight. That'll be a good fight.
Yeah, Atoma would stop him in about 5 rounds, Chris, wouldn't he?
Less. It'd be done in about three rounds. Easy.
Maybe they should do that. Just chuck him in with Atoma and then just feed him Moses and then let's just see what happens.
Bob Arum would never allow that because I don't think he'd work with Riyadh season because he's like. The thing is, they might do because they've lost money on him, Top Rank.
So I'll tell you who should fight. I've got a name that would actually might do well over here if they bring Anderson over here. Chuck him in with Dave Allen. Right, why not?
Do you know what? that is a good shout, actually. Because you know what? Dave Allen that's a 50-50 fight. Dave Allen could win that fight. And
he's on form.
Even if Anderson wins, he's going to have had to work hard for it. It's not going to be no easy fight. And Dave Allen's going to run over. So there's going to be lots of Jared Anderson crying, going, oh, it's making me hit his elbows. Oh, he's a really tough guy. But I know he's going to last the full 10 rounds. I know it.
I mean his face and it's hurting me knuckles. His big head is hurting me knuckles.
Fuck you know. Well, that's our little piece on Jared Anderson. Let us know your thoughts. Please, if you've got any comments, like and subscribe, guys. Like and sub. Yeah, we could have gone on for that forever.
Yeah, mate.